faithful Niner Empire. It's about that time, 3 o'clock on a Thursday. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, J. And it's a pleasure once again to be in front of the best fans in the NFL, the faithful, the Niner Empire. It's good to be in front of all the fans on a Thursday. Shout out to everyone watching from Jay and the Bay on YouTube. Shout out to everyone watching Jay and the Bay on that good old Spotlight Sports Network. Appreciate everyone rocking with me from that channel as well. And of course, this show is nothing without the fans. I want to see you guys in the chat. I want to see you guys conversing with me. I appreciate the back and forth. And before we get into the latest news, let's talk to the fans in the chat. Let's see who we got first today. All right, we got Monica first today. All right, what's good? How you doing, Monica? Thanks for coming through to the stream today. Hope your Thursday is going well. Let's see, Darius Howe. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. I appreciate you coming through. Good luck to your New Orleans Saints this year. 49ers Ultimate Report. What's good? How you doing, man? What's good, John Jay? Thanks. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you digging the hat, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Redder folk, what's good? How you doing, Redder? How you doing on this Thursday? All right. Monica says, loving the hat. All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. 49ers Ultimate Report says, what's good? I'm just chilling out on a Thursday, getting ready to talk about, the red and gold. Good to be here. Let's see who else we got in the chat. 49ers First Take, what's good? Now, for those that don't know, 49ers First Take, excellent YouTube content creator. He talks about, y'all see it? He talk about that good old red and gold. And I will be on 49ers First Take YouTube channel tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about the latest 49er news, and y'all should come through if you can. Check out 49ers First Take YouTube channel if you haven't heard of them. Check them out, and that's where you can view the live stream tomorrow. And I will be on 49ers First Take YouTube channel. His channel has been blowing up, and I can't wait to get on and talk about the red and gold with him. The Sports Star, what's good? How you doing, man? I saw you did a show with Payo Time. Yeah. So I think you're talking about the Carolina Panthers, I think. So I'm gonna check that out. But I see you doing big things, man. Keep it up. Let's see. 49ers First Take. Okay, it says can't wait and thanks. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's about time we link up, man. It's been a minute, But I first got to start off with make sure, obviously, of course, I appreciate if you guys hit a like on the live. That tells YouTube, that lets me know you're enjoying the content. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Jay and the Bay. Also, I do have that good old IG and Twitter. Check me out. And let's start off with the latest news. So I heard today that the 49ers and LA Chargers will be having joint practices this year. I believe it's August 22nd, I believe. And that's actually my mom's birthday. Shout out, Mom. But August 22nd, I believe the 49ers and Chargers, they're going to have joint practices. And looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing our guys go up against their guys. The Chargers are a young, talented team. Justin Herbert, he looks to be, he appears to be a franchise quarterback. I don't know how you guys feel about Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, he looks like he played pretty good. Obviously, he won the Rookie of the Year last year. So Herbert's looking pretty good. I know the Chargers are glad they drafted him. Of course, they have Joey Bosa, and that'll be an interesting matchup. Joey Bosa against, Trent Williams or Mike McGlinchey, whichever side he he lines up on. So that'll be an interesting matchup. But that was some of the latest news about the Niners was the joint practices between the Niners and the Chargers. There's also some news about defensive tackle Kevin Givens. Now I'm not sure if everyone knew about this, but Kevin Givens, got into some legal trouble February of this year. You can Google it, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up that defensive tackle Kevin Givens, the charges have been dropped that were applied against him. So that's obviously good news for the Niners, good news for Kevin Givens. And I'm looking forward to see what Kevin Givens brings to the Niners. And of course, this show, we're obviously going to talk about the press conference. And, Kevin Givens' name did come up a few times in a positive light, especially with the defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. He thinks very highly of Kevin Givens, and he could possibly have a breakout year. So, this is great news for the 49ers and Kevin Givens. And let's continue on with these comments. Let's see. Let's Monica says, are fans allowed to attend? Do you know? That's a great question. As far as the practice session, I'm not sure. As far as the preseason game, let's see where it's going to be at. Let's see. So it looks like the preseason game. So the preseason game is on August 22nd, 4:30. That's going to be in LA at a SoFi Stadium. But as far as the joint practices, I'm not sure if fans will be allowed to watch or media. So I'm not sure about that, Monica. I apologize about that. But yeah, I'm not sure. And also, I would assume the joint practices will probably be in LA. I would assume, since the game is going to be played in LA, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll definitely look into that if fans are allowed to attend. But that's a great question. Looks like Monica says someone said the practices could be in Costa Rica, but not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the practices will be held, but I just heard that they're going to be playing. They're going to be having joint practices against each other. So that's pretty cool. CG Ruthless, what's good? How you doing, CG? How you doing on this Thursday? John Cannon, what's good? What's good, John? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Looks like Monica says she's going to try and go to the Chargers preseason game in LA. That's dope. Yeah, check it out. Obviously, San Diego's a beautiful place, and what better than to watch a game in San Diego? So yeah, that would be dope. Let us know how that goes if you decide to go. Are you going to go to any regular season games? Let me know in the comment section. All right. So I wanted to talk briefly about our defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. Now, for those that don't know, DeMeco Ryans played pretty much football throughout the majority of his life. I would say his adult life, obviously. He starred at the University of Alabama, and he played the linebacker position. And he was a unanimous All-American player at the University of Alabama. Now, that's an amazing achievement. There's a lot of great players play in the SEC, and obviously a lot of great players play, in Alabama, of course. So that's an amazing achievement that he was a unanimous All-American at Alabama. He was also first team All-SEC, and he was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. So obviously, DeMeco Ryans played the game at the highest level, and he was, an outstanding player at Alabama. Now, in 2006, he elected to go to the NFL draft, and DeMeco Ryans was selected by the Houston Texans in the second round. Now, his first year with the Texans, he was the 2006 Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Houston Texans. So, the man was balling. He was playing at a very high level. And in 2007, with the Houston Texans, he was a first-team All-Pro. So, our defensive coordinator clearly played the game at a high level. And that's one of the reasons why the players on the 49ers respect him and they look up to him, because he played the game at the highest level. And he was also a two-time Pro Bowler D'Amico Ryans in 2007 and in 2009. He also played with the Philadelphia Eagles from 2012 to 2015. And D'Amico Ryans' coaching career began with the 49ers in 2017. And that's where he was hired as the defensive quality control coach. And then from the years 2018 to 2020, D'Amico Ryans was the linebackers coach for the 49ers. And, I think part of the reason Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are so good is, they learned from one of the better linebackers when he played in the game. So Fred Warner and Greenlaw definitely, D'Amico Ryans was definitely a mentor to those two players. And, I can't wait to see him coach the entire defense this year. And of course, 2021, this year, he was promoted to defensive coordinator. So D'Amico Ryans definitely played the game at a high level in college and the pros. And he'll definitely bring that level of intensity and his knowledge to the defensive coordinator position for the 49ers. So just want to give you guys a brief history of D'Amico Ryans because I didn't know that information. I had to look that up. I wasn't, I knew he played the game. I just didn't know to what extent and how many years he played. But it's good to see him put in the work. He was excellent as a player, and I can't wait to see him develop as a defensive coordinator. Let's get back to these comments. Let's see. Tio says, "Sup, Jane the Bay? Love your show, bro. We got you, boy. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you, Tio. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Let's see. Monica says, if I go to a regular season game, it would probably be one versus the Rams. Probably the last one. I live in OC, so that's close, but I got to keep myself in check if I do. LOL, Rams fans get me heated. Yeah, don't worry about them Rams fans. The Rams fans, they love their team, and they're proud of their team. I mean, I can't lie. If I was a Rams fan, if I put my shoes in Rams fan shoes, I'd be pretty excited too. They bring back the number one ranked defense from the previous year. They upgraded the team with Matt Stafford. They added Deshaun Jackson. They also added some pieces in the draft this year. So, yeah, Rams fans should be excited. But I think every team got better in the NFC West. So I just can't wait till the games get started. It's like 49ers Ultimate Report says the Rams are overrated. I guess we'll see. I know the Rams are definitely – I've heard that they are top heavy. And I can see how you could say that. Actually, the last live stream I did, we looked at the Rams depth chart. And after Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and Leonard Floyd, there are not too many other household names on the Rams. So, those players will have a lot to prove. And we'll see if they can make plays. That's what it comes down to. Doesn't really matter if you're known or not. As long as you can make plays when it counts, that's all that really matters. So now reacting to the press conference. All right. So let's start off with Javon Kinlaw. Now, Javon Kinlaw, looks like he's going to be a hell of a player. And I can't wait to see him actually work in OTAs, training camp, preseason to get better at the position. Because last year, Javon Kinlaw, he didn't have that due to, COVID. So he didn't have no OTAs, no training camp, no preseason. So that definitely hindered him. But hopefully, I know D'Amico Ryans speaks highly of Javon Kinlaw and a lot of the other veteran defensive players. They feel like Kinlaw is definitely he's definitely should have an outbreak season this year. And I can't wait to see what happens. But, Javon Kinlaw, as far as what he brought to the presser today, I mean, didn't really bring much to the presser, I should say. Now, one thing I took away from what Kinlaw said was he did have knee surgery in the offseason, and he said he's now 100% and he's felt that way for the past few months because he's been training at the 49ers facility since February of this year. So that is good news that Kinlaw's feeling 100% and he's feeling ready to go. So Enjoy My World. What's good? How you doing, Enjoy My World? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you checking in. Um, and continuing on with the presser. Let's go to one of the players who are newest to the team, Samson Ibuka. So Samson coming over from the LA Rams. One thing that stood out, one of the differences from the Rams and Niners for Samson. So Samson said when he was with the Rams, they basically told him, we want you to read and react on the defensive side of the ball. That's what they told Samson Ibuka. That's what the Rams told him. And with the Niners, D'Amico has instructed Samson to just attack. Don't worry about reading. Don't worry about reacting. We just want you to attack the ball. So this is one of the main differences Samson has experienced so far compared to the Rams and the Niners. Just attack the ball, and the linebackers and corners will support you. That's definitely one thing that stood out to me about Samson's presser. And Samson spoke about Javon Kinlaw, as I mentioned before, but Samson said he feels like Javon Kinlaw should have an all-pro season. So, can you imagine if Javon Kinlaw can take on double teams, get after the quarterback, be a force in the running game? That helps out, Bosa, Armstead, Arden Key, Samson. Like, it helps everyone else out if Kinlaw can be a force up the middle. And one thing that Samson said about his new defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans, was DeMeco Ryans is a player's coach, and the players respect him, and also that DeMeco is knowledgeable. So that's a very great thing, that Samson obviously respects his defensive coordinator, and he respects what he brings to the table. So we're getting off to a good start with Samson. And I believe that those were the only points that stood out to me as far as there's one more thing about Samson. He talked about his defensive line coach, Caceres. Basically, he likes his defensive line coach and Samson says that he's honest and he wants the best for his players, and he's really consistent with his teaching. So everything sounds great coming from Samson, and it was good to hear from him because I hadn't heard from Samson this year since after he signed with the Niners. So it was good to see Samson and see what he was all about. So that I enjoyed that. Corey Davis, what's good? How you doing, KD? I'm just chilling out on a Thursday, talking about them good old red and gold Niners, man. Thanks for coming through. Enjoy My World says, has Julio left yet? Oh man, it's the will this story ever end? Falcons, what y'all waiting on, man? Just trade him. It's the same thing every day with Julio. It's not a matter of if he'll be traded, but when. And I just want him to be traded. Either trade him to the Niners or trade him to a team in the AFC. I can't wait till this domino falls. Let's see, Matt Navarro, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to Jay in the Bay. How you doing on a Thursday? Nicho TV, what's good? Nicho says Samson is a great pickup this offseason, especially with great defense. Yeah, I think Samson will play a pivotal role on this defense as an edge rusher. Obviously Nick Bosa is looking pretty good in his rehab. He's currently not with the team, Nick Bosa, that is. He's currently rehabbing in Florida. And if I were the Niners, I'm not going to, start. I might start Nick Bosa, but he's not playing 100% of snaps, at least for like the first month of the season. I think we need to slowly bring on Nick Bosa. He's coming off that torn ACL. He doesn't need to play 100% of the snaps right off the back. Let's just ease him in. Like, 1 week, maybe he'll get 20 snaps. The next week, 25. The next week, 30, 35, and so on, Let's ease in Nick Bosa. But that does mean we're going to have to rely on other proven veterans. Armstead, we're going to have to rely on Samson, maybe rely on Arden Key, Zach Kerr, Jordan Willis. There's a lot of other guys in that defensive line room that can help. And I think we need to, not put too much on Nick Bosa's plate. just ease him into the game. I don't think he should be playing 100% snaps, but I think that's also why John Lynch added more depth to the defensive line room. That's definitely an area that was pretty successful last year. Kerry Hyder, excellent year last year. So we need another guy to step up, and I think Sampson can do that. Hopefully Arden Key can add some sacks, and Kinlaw, we're expecting a lot of things from Kinlaw as well. So yep, when will Julio go? It's like Nietzsche says, the 49ers will be very good this season with no injuries, just like in the Super Bowl run. That's what we're hoping for. I mean, I think every team can say that as far as, well, if our starting quarterback gets hurt, or we have offensive linemen, or our best defensive players get hurt, our chances of making it to the playoffs will greatly decrease. And we're just hoping, that every team can, that we're hoping that all our players can stay healthy. I'm not sure if you saw this report though, Nicho TV and everyone else in the chat. There were some injuries already at a training camp, which I'm not too worried, because it's still early, but you just hope that the injuries that players have now don't linger. I mean, that's all you can really hope for. But whenever you're playing a physical sport, injuries happen. But there was a report today by Matt Mayoko of NBC. He's a 49ers reporter, and there were a few players who are currently nursing injuries. Nathan Gary, the linebacker we signed from the Philadelphia Eagles, he's dealing with an Achilles injury. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I don't think we're expecting Nathan Gary to start, but it seemed like he was going to be more of a special team player. But we'll see how that progresses. Jaquiski Tart looks like is dealing with a toe injury. Marcel Harris is dealing with a groin injury. Travis Benjamin is dealing with a calf injury. Richie James is dealing with the hamstring injury. Brandon Ayuk, groin injury. Raheem Mostert, a knee injury. And last but not least, Maurice Hurst is dealing with a shoulder injury. So they're all dealing with those injuries, but all those players should be ready for training camp. But you just got to hope that the injuries don't linger and they don't compensate, for other parts of their body, because if you injure your calf, you might put more pressure on the other calf, which could cause more damage or new damage. So you just got to hope that, these injuries, don't linger. And appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate everyone watching on that good old Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you leave a like if you're enjoying the content. Let's continue with the comments. Matt says, Falcons can always trade us Julio Jones. Exactly. I think, I would hope, in a perfect scenario, our three best receivers, the Ayuk show, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and Kittle, our three best receivers, we would hope that they could stay healthy for, all 17 games. But I mean, I don't know if anyone, I don't know if anyone would take $1,000 and go to Vegas and bet that. I don't know anyone that would do that. But we just got to hope that our playmakers can stay healthy. And if they can't, hopefully the other wide receivers in the room, can fill in. So that's why expectations are really high for Jennings, Hurd, Austin Watkins. What else do Travis Benjamin, Mohamed Sanu have left in the tank? So, I think we should definitely add, an elite receiver to the 49ers, whether it's OBJ, whether it's Julio. What do you guys think in the chat? Are you guys happy about the wide receiver room right now? Let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Matt says, don't you think it's the right time to pick up Frank Gore with the injuries going on? That's an interesting question you had there. Yeah, I saw that report that Frank Gore is working out hard in Florida, and he's just waiting on the right opportunity. And if he doesn't get the right opportunity, Frank Gore, that is, then he plans on retiring. But I just don't know, this isn't the Frank Gore of 5 to 7 years ago. I just don't know what Frank Gore can bring to the table. Obviously, Frank Gore is an all-time great 49er running back. He's a Hall of Fame back. I believe Frank Gore is like top 3 in rushing in the NFL, I believe, for career yards. So, I mean, there's no doubt, hell of a player, but what else can he bring to the table? But maybe Frank Gore could be used in short yardage situations, maybe goal line situations. Matt, let me know in the comments. What area would Frank Gore help this team? I mean, we do have a lot of depth in the running back room. Fortunately, Lynch decided to draft two running backs, Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell, because Lynch and Shanahan, they know they want to run the ball, and Shanahan doesn't like to use a back like Derrick Henry. We don't have a back on this team that's going to run the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's going to divide those carries up. So fortunately, we do have enough depth in the running back room. I think we'll be fine with the running backs we have. Philly the podcast. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. So obviously, Philly Phil is an Eagles fan, so he knows a lot about Nate Gary. Oh man. Well, he is a part of the team. Philly. I'm assuming he'll probably be on special teams. I'd be surprised to see him play a significant role on the defense, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Matt Navarro says toe injury, just tape it up and get back out there. Yeah, easier said than done, man. Easier said than done, Matt. Let's see. CG says, I'm hoping Hurd stays healthy. Yeah. I mean, that's all we can really hope for. Hurd stays healthy. Jennings stay healthy. Obviously, they don't have a good history with that within the past 2 years, but you're looking good so far in OTA, so hopefully that continues. Like Philly says, how long is Garoppolo, whatever, going to start? Jimmy G. I think these 3 things have to happen for Jimmy G to continue to start. He's got to play well. That's one. Actually, no. The first thing is he has to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy, one. He has to play well. And, the team has to win. I think if one of those 3 things does not happen, I think that's when you'll be hearing people say, oh, put in Trey Lance. Obviously, if he gets hurt for a game or 2 or significant games, then yeah, most likely Trey Lance will be in. I think if he plays well, I think the team will win. That's how I feel. I feel like all he needs to do is not turn the ball over. During that 2019 season, that's what I felt like he could have done better. Was not turn the ball over. Like 13 interceptions, that's a lot. Hopefully we can keep that down, double figures. But perfect scenario, Philly. Jimmy G starts all 17 games, leads us to the playoffs, possibly a Super Bowl, and then we move off of Jimmy G in the offseason. I think this is an important year for Jimmy G. Because if he gets hurt again for a significant amount of time or he doesn't play well, his chances of being a starter in this league, a starting quarterback, greatly decrease if he doesn't have a successful season this year. So a lot is riding on Jimmy G to have a good year. He'll still be in the NFL if he doesn't have a good year this year, but he might not have a chance to start. He might just be considered a backup and only play if the starter gets healthy. So a lot is riding on Jimmy G. Looks like CG says for a year, Philly, no point in keeping him next year. Yeah. CG's talking about Jimmy G. Yeah. I think, next year, Trey Lance will get the keys to the car. Right now, he's just, riding in the passenger seat. Jimmy G's driving, but I think next year, Trey Lance will get the keys to the car. And I would like to see, obviously, I can't wait to see Trey in preseason, but I also would like to see Trey, play about 3 to 5 snaps a game at quarterback. and just put him in there on certain situations and just see what he can do. I would like that. Kind of like how Drew Brees and Taysom Hill did in New Orleans. I think that would be interesting for the Niners to do. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what Shanahan thinks about that. Let's see. Matt says it's funny how Julio wants to go to a winning team, but the Chiefs are not on his list for the team he wants to go to. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I mean, that could be salary cap reasons. I'm not sure. Yeah, why Julio wouldn't want to go to the Chiefs? I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. CG says in regards to the running back room, we got Gallman. Exactly. Yeah, I think our running backs are pretty deep. Obviously with Mostert, Gallman, Trey Sermon, Jermichael Hasty, and Elijah Mitchell. I think we're pretty deep, and I'm looking forward to when um, Jeff Wilson Jr. comes back from that knee injury. He's going to have fresh legs. Hopefully, he'll be good to go. November, like mid-November, December, and we can just slowly work him in. Rams house, what's good? How you doing, Rams house, man? We got an LA Rams fan here, and as I say before, y'all heard it before. I encourage all teams, all fans of any NFL team that can join into the stream. I'll read your comment in the chat as long as we keep it respectful. And Rams House, excellent content creator, and he talks about his love of the LA Rams. I know we're gonna link up in the future as well when the Rams and Niners play. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, OYG. Yeah, we got a few on there, man. How you doing, OYG? What's good with you? Yeah, I mean, it's a physical game. Injuries are going to happen. I just hope that these injuries don't linger. Hopefully, they can get healed up, and these injuries won't hinder our players once the season starts. Looks like Matt says if Kyle Shanahan can make any running back look good, so could Gore. Well, I mean, I think we got enough backs. We already have 6 backs right now. So if we added Gore, he'd be the 7th back. You figure Shanahan will probably have maybe 4 backs up on game day. And you figure that's going to be Mostert, Sermon, Gallman, and Juszczyk. So I just don't see a role for Gore on the team. I just don't see it. But we'll see what happens. Travis Berg, what's good? He says, yeah, buddy, here with my ice cream. All right, man. Hope you enjoying the stream, Travis. Looks like Philly says he likes Lance a lot. Yeah, I'm glad we got Trey area. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in the preseason. But I'm sure you guys have watched OTA so far, and Jimmy G has definitely looked refreshed. He looks good in OTAs. Trey Lance has looked pretty good as well. But yeah, I want to see preseason. I mean, Jimmy G, I don't think preseason matters for Jimmy G. I mean, he's 22-8 as a starter for Jimmy. I don't think it matters, at least to me. If Jimmy G struggles in the preseason, I mean, it doesn't matter. In 2019, I remember he struggled a little bit in the preseason, but it didn't matter once the game started. We went to the Super Bowl that year, so yeah, I'm not really concerned about Jimmy G in the preseason. Of course, I want to see him play well, but if he doesn't, I don't. So if Jimmy doesn't play well, but Trey does that mean Trey should be a starter? No, I don't think so. Now, when the regular season start, and if Jimmy struggles, then I mean, you're going to hear it. I think you're definitely going to hear people say, "Hey, bring in Trey Lance." Looks like CG says Lance brings a lot to the table that Jimmy can't. I agree with that. There's no doubt Trey Lance is more dynamic, do more with his legs, more athletic. But Jimmy G has on his side, he's got the experience. He knows Shanahan's playbook. He's got good rapport with the other playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. So those are the 3 things that he has an advantage, over Trey Lance. Trey Lance basically he hasn't played football in more than a year, and he didn't play at one of the top tier colleges, and now we expect him to just hop right into the NFL and dominate. Like, most of the time that doesn't happen. So I'm glad we have Jimmy G there. OYG says, hopefully heard Samuel, Ayuk, Kittle, Mostert, and kick that Rams fan out of here, man. That's right. Now he all good, OYG. Yeah, you should have been in the last stream I had. What's today? Thursday. So I had a stream on Tuesday, and there's there's two Arizona Cardinals fans. So that was very fun. I don't mind if other fans come in. I welcome it. There's nothing wrong as long as we all keep it respectful. Like, if I go on their channel, I'm gonna keep it respectful. I'm gonna keep it in between the lines on the field. So, I have no problem. Let's get it. GA, what's good? He says, homie coming through, showing some love. Man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Thanks for coming through. Hopefully you enjoying the stream. Let's see. Rams House says, I think that Trey Lance is going to be an X factor with your Niners. Good luck to y'all. You guys will be scary to play. Best of luck. I agree. I agree. The same with you guys. You guys are definitely going to be tough to play. And I think Trey Lance this year, unless Jimmy gets hurt, then I think he'll be an X factor. But, if he's holding the clipboard the whole year, I think that's good, though. I think that means that, obviously, if Trey Lance holds the clipboard the whole year, he's got the headset on, he's standing on the sideline. That means Jimmy G's playing well and the team's playing well. And I'm okay with that. Honestly, I don't care who starts as long as whoever Shanahan feels gives the Niners the best chance to win, that's who I want at quarterback. But I've seen Jimmy play well. I've seen Jimmy, excel, at the NFL level. Haven't seen Trey Lance do that. So, I think that's where there's a difference. Let's see. Rams House says, are you going to any Niners games? Probably not this year. I plan on doing a lot of streaming this year, like, game day. Like I'll probably stream like an hour before the 49ers game. I'll stream like right after the 49ers game. So if I went to the game, I wouldn't really be able to do that. And that's what I'm really focused on now. I'm trying to build, this Jay in the Bay YouTube channel. And so I wouldn't be able to really stream a lot if I went to the game. But also, I ain't gonna lie, the games are just expensive. The games are definitely expensive. I have gone to Levi Stadium a few times, but I think this year I'm just gonna stay at home, watch the game on TV, and then I get to talk with you guys before and after the game. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Let me know, Rams House. You going to any Rams games? Let me know. Let's see. Monica says, respect Rams House. If only all Rams fans were as cool as you. Most of them always want to come at me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why some fans, they just, I don't know. They take it too far, man. Man, it's all good. As long as we respect each other's opinion, it's all good. Let's see. Matt says, how can you expect Hurd to play good when he's been spending 2 years recovering? That's a great question, and I wish I could ask Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch that question. Because we're putting our eggs in, two baskets. Hurd and Jennings, they've been hurt the last few years, right? What do Mohamed Sanu and Travis Benjamin have left? Can they really be playmakers at the NFL level? I don't know. I have yet to see it. Austin Watkins, he's an undrafted free agent. We'll see what he does in preseason. But it doesn't seem like the Niners are. It seems like the Niners are content with the receivers we have. That's what it seems like. And I say that because, we haven't upgraded the position significantly. We haven't done that. So clearly Lynch and Shanahan, want to see the wide receiver room, they want to see the talent develop, like who we have now. They want to see those guys develop and give them an opportunity. But, clearly they're content with the wide receiver room. Unless they, they swing for the fences and get Julio or OBJ, that tells me all I need to know. If we don't upgrade the wide receiver position significantly, then clearly they're okay with the wide receiver room, and they're expecting a lot from Hurd, Jennings, and the wide receivers I mentioned. They're expecting a lot from those guys. But that's a great question, Matt. You know, I don't. I guess they're just hoping. You know, they're just hoping because I don't think there's really a good answer for that. You know, you just got to hope that health is on the side of Hurd and Jennings. That's all you can really hope for. We got a Texans fan in the house. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. I enjoyed your contribution to the stream on Tuesday. I appreciate you coming through, man. Tommy Huxley, what's good? Thanks for coming through the stream, Tommy. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have some injuries already, which is unfortunate. We just got to hope that those injuries don't linger. That's all we can really hope for. So, looks like Tommy says Rams House is a cool man. Give him a chance. Exactly. Yeah, he's cool. I've talked with him, watched his videos. Yeah, he's cool. And he keeps it respectful, and you know, he's cool with me. It's like Texans fans says I talk trash about teams, but I never get personal. It's just friendly football trash. Exactly. That's how it should be. You know, you can talk trash about the team, but as long as it doesn't get personal, you know, then it's all good. So it's friendly football trash talking. Exactly. David Yang, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. How you doing? How you doing on a Thursday? Osby Sports, what's good? What's good, Osby? You doing big things on your channel, man. Keep it up. He says, we have to do a 49ers live together one of these days. Yes, we definitely do. Exactly. What I think right now, there's not a lot to talk about with the Niners. I mean, we're past free agency draft, but definitely when we get closer to game day, yeah, we should definitely link up and talk about the Niners. Or if there's more news that comes up, and our schedules are good, then yeah, we definitely will link up, Osby, for sure. Let's see, Corey Davis. What's good? Corey says, I heard they are going to have Trey Lance some place for him. Yeah, I heard that too. There's going to be like a special package for Trey Lance. Now, I don't know if that'll be deployed in the regular season. I don't know if they're just doing this package for preseason. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I wish I could ask Shanahan, does he plan on using Lynch, or excuse me, does Shanahan plan on using Lance, similarly like the Saints use Taysom Hill? Obviously, Trey Lance is a better player, I would say, than Taysom Hill. But will he bring Trey Lance in the regular season for a few games or a few snaps a game? That'll be interesting. Matt Navarro says David Mills is a bust. Yeah, I think he's the quarterback the Texans drafted. I think David Mills went to Stanford. I think. I guess we'll see. Time will tell if he's a bust. JH Sports, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. He says Rams houses lives in Colorado. Okay. Let's see. Texas fan says, I don't see Trey starting anytime soon. I see him on the bench for at least 2 seasons unless there's injury to Jimmy G. He has a lot learning to do. Yeah. I would say best case scenario, like if Jimmy G balls out this year, I just don't see us keeping him because Trey Lance is behind him. All reports are saying that Trey Lance is picking up the offense quickly, which is excellent to see. But that's only like half the battle. You still have to be able to read defenses. You still have to get on a good rapport with your playmaker. So it takes time, and I don't think we should rush Trey, especially since we have a veteran quarterback who's excelled in this league. Let's see. Rams House says, I'm going to the Rams versus Broncos, my first NFL game. Games are expensive. Yeah, they are, man. They are expensive. But it is a different experience when you're in the stadium compared to just watching it like at a bar or at your house on TV. Like it definitely is a different experience, but it is fun. You're around other fans. And yeah, it is pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely going to make it out to a game. Probably not this year. Maybe I'll go next year or so. But yeah, it's definitely fun going to a game and have fun at the game. Like CG says, I might go to the game against the Vikings or Colts. My buddy pushing me to go to the 49ers versus Raiders preseason. Yeah, that preseason game versus the Raiders. Let's see, is that in Vegas or is that in Santa Clara? Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Looks like it's going to be in Santa Clara. So the Raiders and Niners preseason game, August 29th, 1 p.m. in Santa Clara. That should be a good game to go to. Yeah, why not? I can't wait till the Niners go to Vegas to play the Raiders. And hopefully it's a regular season game. I would definitely try to make it out to that. I don't know about you guys, but I like going to Vegas. It's always fun to go there. You can drive, fly, whatever. But yeah, that would be a nice, fun trip to go to Vegas and, be in that brand new stadium the Raiders have and watch my red and gold play. Like that'd be pretty dope. Let's see. Let's see. Matt says, if only the Titans played here in Cali. Otherwise, I would definitely be there. Let's see. OYG says, yes, he cool. I remember we had a fake D Hopkins last time. But you're right, bro. Just trash talk, all jokes. Raiders fans do get on my nerves because they be taking it too seriously, angry and crying. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a game. I know fan is short for fanatic, but sometimes, just you don't have to get personal. Just talk about the teams, and that's all good. But yeah, the fake D House was here. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, but yeah, those guys are welcome, man. I don't mind if they come through the chat. Talk about their Cardinals. It's all good. I just like I told them, OYG. I said, just keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy when the games start. Awesomeness Sports. What's good? How you doing today on a Thursday? Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Tommy says, is it better we getting the injuries now to get them out of the way? I guess, in a perfect world, there wouldn't be any other injuries, but obviously we can't guarantee that. And I don't know if that's a good thing that the players are getting injured now, because these injuries can linger. And then if they linger, they could get worse. So, but it's a physical game. Guys are going to go down. It's not a matter of if it happens. It's pretty much when, unfortunately. But we just got to hope that these guys can get healthy. That's all we can really hope for. Moses Valley, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says Jimmy Ward is number one. All right. Yeah, Jimmy Ward is an excellent safety. I like him and Jaquiski Tart in the back end of our secondary. And speaking of our secondary, we've got a veteran group, with Jaquiski Tart, Jimmy Ward, Mosley, Verrette, Kwan Williams. I think our back five of our secondary, collectively, I would say collectively is probably top two in the NFC West, maybe even the best. But yeah, I like our secondary for sure. Let's see. Matt says Trey Lance is going to have to get a few snaps at least, knowing he's only played one game in 2020. Yeah, I want to see him get some snaps in the regular season. If he like each game, maybe get like 5 to 7 snaps at quarterback. I think that would be nice to see. Niner sickness, what's good? Thanks for coming into the stream, man. How you doing on a Thursday? Let's see. Texans fan says Titans versus Ravens is probably the most heated game in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Yeah, that is a pretty good game. Both teams love to run the ball. Both defenses are pretty physical. So yeah, that definitely is a heated rivalry, especially back when I remember when Eddie George and Ray Lewis were on, Titans and the Ravens, and that was always a pretty good physical game, kind of like the Steelers and Ravens, kind of like that. But yeah, I remember those games. Let's see. David Yang says, even if Jimmy balls this year, you still have to move on. Trey would have been sitting, not playing meaningful football for 3 years, and that's just too long. Plus, you want to trade Jimmy high to get value. I totally 100% agree with you, David. Um, Especially if Jimmy G balls out, it helps his career and it helps the Niners. Obviously, it helps the Niners because we have a better chance of getting to the playoffs and possibly a Super Bowl. And then your last point was excellent as well. Trade Jimmy when his value is high. Maybe when we can get a first round pick, second round pick. Didn't really make sense to trade him now because he's coming off of an injury riddled season. And it doesn't make sense to get rid of Jimmy for me. I wouldn't trade Jimmy for anything less than a first round pick. Because I think he has played at the highest level. But it just sucks that he's got that injury history. Looks like CG says he witnessed the last Battle of the Bay game. It was priceless. All right. Let's see. Rams House says, I feel like September can't come soon enough. I'm with you, man. I'm definitely with you. We got what we got. I think we're like 99 days left. So I'm definitely looking forward to the season. And this is probably the first year I'm very looking forward to the preseason because the Niners have an influx of young rookie talent, and I can't wait to see them on the field. Of course, we got 3 rookies in the secondary, the 2 corners, and the safety. Um, we have rookies along the offensive line. We have rookies in the running back room, and of course, we got Trey. So there's a lot to look forward to for the Niners from our younger talent. See, Texans fan says, "Am I the only one that doesn't think Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league? Give Watson, Wilson, Rodgers, Brady his weapons, and Chiefs will be as good, if not better." Well, I think because those quarterbacks, are up there with Mahomes as being some of the best quarterbacks in the league. So yeah, it's just like if you take Brady off of the Bucks and you put Deshaun Watson there, Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Mahomes, I think they'll still be pretty good. Um, so, Texas fan, do you think Mahomes is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Let me know in the comments section. Because I think Mahomes, he's probably like if you could create a franchise and you were having an NFL draft and every player was available in the NFL draft. So obviously, I think if I had the number 1 pick, I would probably pick Pat Mahomes. Right? He's the youngest quarterback. He's one of the younger quarterbacks. He's had a lot of success in the league so far, and also based on his age as well. For me, Pat Mahomes would probably be my number 1 pick. Um, I mean, you could say Deshaun. He just hasn't had the same success as Pat. Justin Herbert had an excellent year last year. Russell Wilson, but he's a little bit up there in age. But yeah, I think those would probably be, your top 5, probably. If you could draft any player, your top 5 will probably be, Mahomes, Watson, probably Herbert, maybe Burrow. I might be forgetting another quarterback, young quarterback, but those are the names that first come to mind. So let me know, Texans fan, is Mahomes the top 5 quarterback? Let me know in the comment section. Let's see. Moses, sorry he changed his number. You talking about? I think you might be talking about Jimmy Ward. Yeah, I think Jimmy Ward and Jason Verrette. I think they both changed their number. I know for sure Verrette did. Let's see. Let's continue with the comments. Niner Faithful, what's good? How you doing today, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Let's see. See, Travis Travis is sending flowers to CG Ruthless. He says, I'm a Raiders fan, but I admire you, CG. You the man. All right. Giving praise to CG. I see you, Travis. Let's see. Moses says, first time watching you. I've been missing out. What's good? Well, thanks for coming through to the stream, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I appreciate you. Yeah, CG is right. Sometimes, crazy fans get out of hand sometimes. Sometimes they take it too far. Let's see. Rams House says, what was your favorite 49ers game you have ever watched? Uh, let's see. Some of them that come to mind, of course, the catch two with Terrell Owens when he caught the ball in the end zone against the Packers, scored a touchdown. That's one. That's one game that stands out. The pick at the stick with Navarro Bowman. That was a great game against the Atlanta Falcons. And I believe that was the last game at Candlestick, I believe. So yeah, and Navarro Bowman, got an interception, ran it all the way back to the house. Those are um, my most memorable games. Also, more recently, the I would say the Niners game against the Saints when George Kittle caught that pass and he was breaking tackles and throwing defenders to the ground. Like that was a great game, a great back and forth game against the Saints. Those are some of my most favorite Niner games. Let's see. Niner Faithful says our game against the Colts should be exciting because I feel like it will go down to the wire and DeForest will most likely ball out. Yeah, I think he definitely will. That's going to be an interesting game because we're going to be coming off a bye week. So Kyle Shanahan and the coaching staff will have 2 weeks to prepare for that game. The players will be well rested, ready to go. And I think we have a good shot at beating the Indianapolis Colts. And I believe that game is prime time. Sunday Night Football, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Colts game is a prime time game on Sunday night. So definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, it'll be nice to see DeForest Buckner go up against, our interior offensive line, Mack, Tomlinson, and we'll see who wins that right guard position between Brunskill and Banks. But yeah, no doubt DeForest is, he's one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, and our O line will definitely be challenged. That's for sure. See, CG says the Battle of the Bay game, Rams house, the most competitive I witnessed was the 49ers versus Rams Thursday night. Yeah, yeah. I think all of our divisional games are very competitive. Usually they all go down to the wire. So I, I expect nothing less this year. It's like Travis says, who's old enough here to remember the TO Dallas Cowboys game? Yeah, I remember that. Oh man, that was funny. TO went to the middle of the field after he scored the first touchdown, looked up into the heavens. And then the second time, actually, I want to say Emmitt Smith scored a touchdown, and I think he ran to the middle. And then T.O. scored another touchdown. He ran to the middle, but I think George Teague might hit him or something when he went to the middle of the field the second time. So T.O. was a trip, man. T.O. always brought excitement to the game. I loved his, touchdown celebrations. I just wish he could have retired a 49er, but there's a lot of turmoil in the locker room, Mariucci, Garcia, T.O. So too bad they couldn't work it out because T.O. should have definitely retired um, as a 49er. I wish that would have been the case. Or I should say, I wish he would have played his entire career with the Niners. I think he did retire. I'm trying to think. I know T.O. went to the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame player. I don't remember if he retired as a 49er. I think he did. I'm not 100% sure, but if he didn't, obviously I wish he would retire as a 49er, and I wish he would have played his entire career with the Niners. So looks like CG says first one was at Candlestick Park against the Washington football team, overtime win. All right. Let's see. 49er Faithful says, yeah, Verrette is number 2 and Ward is number 1 now. Okay, yeah, that's going to be weird looking at those numbers on the field because, yeah, usually the single digit numbers are usually the quarterbacks. So that's going to be weird to see. It's going to take time to adjust to that. It's like Texans fan says, Mahomes is top 5, and Watson doesn't have Mahomes' success because of the situation he got drafted in. I would love to see Mahomes getting sacked 64 times like Watson and O'Brien calling plays for him. Yeah. Yeah, and O'Brien, speaking of O'Brien, I thought he was a decent head coach. I mean, I believe the Texans went to the playoffs every year. O'Brien was the head coach, or at least most, if not all, the years, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I think O'Brien's downfall was definitely, making GM decisions like trading away trading away DeAndre Hopkins. You know, unfortunately, not able to repair the relationship with JJ Watt. So there are definitely, and then you got rid of Jadeveon Clowney, man. I guess that wasn't too bad because Jadeveon hasn't proven to be, you know, a top 5 pass rusher. At least I don't think so. But yeah, O'Brien's downfall was definitely trading D Hop. So yeah, Matt says Jimmy Ward wearing number 1. My OCD can't take it. I know, right? Like that's going to be weird to see. I'm not sure why the NFL did this, but who knows? Let's see. Texans fan says, "Who wins tonight, the Lakers or the Suns?" That's a good question. I don't know. Is AD playing tonight? I don't know. If AD plays, they'll have a better chance, but I'd be surprised. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Looks like Travis says the Lakers. Let's see. Rams House says my favorite Rams game was Rams versus Chiefs Monday night for sure. Roller coaster of emotions. Yeah, I remember that game. I think both teams scored over like 100 points or something like that. Like it was, I think the end score was like, wasn't it like 60-50 or something like that. Like it was a crazy score. It's like back and forth. Yeah, I remember that game. That was crazy. It's like CG says he was 10 when T.O. did it. Yeah. I just wish T.O. could have played his entire career with the Niners. Just like CG says his favorite Niners game that he witnessed was a game versus the Packers in the playoffs where Kaepernick ran them over. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the 49ers and Kaepernick beat the bricks off them good old Packers. I remember that game very clearly. It's like Texans fan says he hopes LeBron going to have a big game and the role players got it. That's the thing, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. LeBron can score 50, but if the role players don't, score, don't, and if they don't produce, it's not going to, the Lakers aren't going to win because the last game, the Lakers point guards, I don't think they scored any points or whatever. Like they just got blown off the floor. So LeBron, obviously, we already know he's gonna show up big, but the role players got to do their part too. OYG says the last game he went to was with the Saints, catch 3 with Alex Smith and Vernon Davis. That's when my guys, Deshaun Gholston and Dante Whitner, were trucking dudes all over the field. Yeah, I remember that game. I was like, Alex Smith, probably one of his best moments as a 49er, that playoff game against the Saints. And then Vernon Davis balled out. And yeah, that was back when, you could actually hit players in the NFL. Golson and Whitner, Dante Hittner. That's when, they were thriving at the safety position. Yeah, Travis says the NFL is weird for having the low numbers now. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Maybe they're trying to have more fun. I don't know, but definitely from a viewing perspective, it's going to be weird to see. Definitely something that we're going to have to get used to. Niners all day. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. How you doing on a Thursday? Let's see. CG says, I hate the numbers change. It's not high school game or college or semi football or Canada football. Yeah. I wonder, like, for them to make that rule change, did teams say, hey, we want to, or did players, come to the NFL and say, hey, we want to, um, we want to be able to wear certain numbers? Like, why did the NFL come to this? Maybe the players came to them with the suggestion, and I guess all the teams voted uh, for that to come to fruition, I guess. It's like the Rams house was referring to that Rams and Chiefs Monday night game, 54-51. Yeah, that was a crazy game. That was a crazy game. It's like Texans fan says, I can't wait for the Nets versus Bucks. That is going to be a fun series. I think the Nets will win though, but yeah, that should be a fun series. CG Ruthless says the catch two was a great moment. To Tears of Joys was epic. Yeah. VD Tears against the Saints on that play. Yeah, that's definitely something that stands out. Like, I think that's my number one memory is the catch two. To after he made that catch, he was crying. I think that's probably definitely my number one memory. I think next, or at least in my top five, would be Navarro Bowman pick at the stick. Like, that was an incredible scene, incredible play. And yeah, I think those are probably my top two moments from the 49ers. It's like Travis Berg says September 26th, 49ers versus Packers, prime time. And that's going to be the 49ers home opener. So that's going to be an incredible game. And, I can't wait. Can't wait to talk about that game with the fans, an hour before the game, and to talk about the post game as well. Like, that's one thing I'm definitely looking forward to doing is live streaming with everyone, and that way we can continue to converse with each other. And I'm definitely looking forward to that game, the home opener. Let's see. Texans fan says, would you rather have Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, or Lamar Jackson? I would probably say, if I had my druthers, I'd probably say Justin Herbert. Give me Justin Herbert. I think Josh Allen obviously has been great. Lamar Jackson has been great as well, but I think Justin Herbert could be better than both of those players, in the future. I think. Matt Navarro says Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson. I don't know about that. We'll see. Daniel Jones, expectations are definitely high for Daniel Jones with the Giants. I think this is his third year with the Giants. So, if he doesn't come through, have a successful season, he could be out of New York. So, but yeah, I think Lamar Jackson. I would take Lamar Jackson over Daniel Jones if it were me. Just got a little water in the red cup. Just a little water, just stay hydrated. Let's see. Travis Berg says Lamar. Yeah, I would take Lamar Jackson over Daniel Jones. Yep. Let's see. Ruthless says, as a former football player in the semi-football league, I don't think those numbers should be allowed. I mean, it's definitely going to take a minute to get used to CG. That's for sure, man. It's going to take a minute to get used to. I just don't understand why they did it. Like, why do they need to do that? I don't get it, but it is what it is. We'll get used to it, I guess. Texas fan says Daniel Jones isn't better than Lamar Jackson. Oh man, yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones hasn't really shown, that he's the franchise quarterback for the Giants yet. He hasn't shown that. Now, Lamar Jackson, obviously, I wouldn't consider him to be a great passer of the football, but there's no doubt he's dynamic. And for his sake and the Ravens' sake, hopefully he continues to get better. So, when the Texas fan says, look at Lamar Jackson's wide receivers, yeah. I mean, he got Hollywood Brown. I think they got Sammy Watkins, but he got a great tight end. He's got Andrews, but he could definitely get more accurate for sure. Let's see, 49ers Ultimate Report says, my favorite 49ers game is the Packers versus 49ers. 1998 playoff game, Steve Young to T.O. catch two. Yep, I definitely remember that game. That's probably, I would say that's one of my earliest moments of watching the 49ers because we were watching it together as a family in the living room, and that's one. I think that's probably my earliest memory of a 49er game, and that's also why that's one of my favorite moments. T.O.'s a very dynamic player. I wish he would have spent his whole career with the Niners, and yeah, that was a great play. That was a great play. Lunch break hot take. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says, "Great show, bro. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through." See, Niners all day says Warriors are winning the chip, even if they didn't make it. They're just that good. Oh man, the Warriors will be interesting next year. Clay comes back. We'll see what Wiseman does. He didn't have a great rookie year. But yeah, we'll see if the Warriors can still compete. We'll see what happens. Let's see. CG says T.O. taunts on the star were priceless. My pops, who was a Cowboys fan, was upset. I laughed and he was like, "That's not funny." Oh man, yeah. T.O. is something else, man. T.O. He's something else. Like his celebrations are one of a kind. I know Joe Horn with the Saints had the cell phone. Chad Ochocinco, he has some great touchdown celebrations. But yeah, T.O. He's one of the best to ever do it for sure. Let's see. 49er Faithful says, my favorite game was when Colin ran for 56 yards, touchdown versus the Packers. Yeah. Now I remember that game. And I also remember during that season, I believe the Niners went up to play the Patriots. And I think it was like snowing. And the Patriots hadn't really lost a home game yet. And the 49ers pretty much spanked the Patriots in Foxborough. So I remember that game as well. That was incredible. And also the 49ers went up to Green Bay and beat them. Like we beat Green Bay a lot the past decade. Obviously they beat us last year, but we match up well with the Packers. I agree, Niners all day. Daniel Jones is definitely on the hot seat. If he doesn't lead the Giants to the playoffs, they could be looking for a different quarterback. Because quarterbacks nowadays they don't get that much time. They usually get about 2-3 years, and if you don't cut it thin, and if you don't show that you're a franchise quarterback in about 2-3 years, and if you're a first round draft pick, usually they're looking to get rid of you. They're looking to replace you. So it's like Matt says, Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson anytime. Don't tell CEO that CG. Okay, well, I guess we'll see. We'll see, Matt. Yeah, I heard about that. TB12 wasn't too fond of that number change. I remember. Yeah, I remember. I saw the article about that. Yeah. So he's not the only one. There are a lot of people who are just scratching their head, like, why change it? Don't understand. Let's see. See, the Rams house says, I always have hated the 49ers for many reasons, but Jay, you make them more likable. This community is awesome. I hope this year my Rams can at least split with y'all. You guys have talent. I appreciate the kind words, man. um, the Rams will be tough. Like I feel like both games will go down to the wire. Both teams very talented, and both coaching staffs are very talented. Management, like all up the board. So they're definitely going to be very close games for sure. Like Niners all day says, favorite 49ers player ever is Frank Gore. All right. Yeah, my favorite 49ers player of all time, I think it would be Jerry Rice. It'd be the GOAT. Yeah, I think Jerry Rice for me. I'm looking forward to when Frank Gore gets inducted into Canton, Ohio, into that good old Hall of Fame. Texas fan says, who wins, Warriors 2017 or Nets 2021? Hmm. That's I don't know. They're two very competitive teams. Um, That's close. I'm not sure. If I had to guess, I would probably say I'll probably give the slight edge to the Nets. If I had to guess, slight edge to the Nets, I would say. But they would definitely, obviously, the series would go 7 games. So Niners all day says we need to bring Curry back ASAP. Yeah, I think he's a free agent, right? Yeah, Dub should definitely, sign Curry to a long term extension. He definitely is deserving of it. Like Matt says, Willis would have to be my all time favorite. Okay, I respect that. Niners Ultimate Report says his second favorite game is the 0-2 playoff game, Giants versus Niners. Yeah, I remember that game. I think the Giants, we were playing in Candlestick, and the Giants, I think they had like a 2 or 3 touchdown lead at halftime, and the Niners slowly came back. And there's a little bit of controversy at the end of the game. I think the Giants lined up for a field goal, and I believe there's a bad snap, and the snapper or the holder, I should say, got the ball and was looking to pass. And I think there was a Giants player open downfield, and a Niners player basically tackled him to the ground. And the Giants were saying, "Oh, there should be a penalty," and yada yada yada. But yeah, I think that's what transpired in that game. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's what happened in 2002. Texans fan, what's the worst and best division in the league? I would say best division is the NFC West. Let's see, worst division. Let's see. Oh, it's probably the NFC East. I would say because I think Washington's probably the best team in the NFC East. Philly, what Jalen Hurts, what can he do? There's a lot of, he hasn't proven himself to be a franchise quarterback. The Cowboys defense is so. But Dak is coming back, so that's good for them. And then you got the Giants. So yeah, I think that's probably the weakest division in the NFL. Niner Faithful says, I bet Packers fans hate going up against us. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Travis says, I still can't believe my Raiders are playing on Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think this might be the first time they played on Thanksgiving, right, Travis? I don't remember seeing the Raiders on Thanksgiving anytime before. It's like CG says, my all-time favorite 49ers player is T.O. Yep, I feel you. T.O. was a beast. 49ers Ultimate Report says, my favorite players are Bryant Young and Pat Willis. Okay. And CG says he was influenced by T.O.'s cockiness and being flamboyant. Steve Young is my favorite also. Okay. Devin Sykes, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to Jay in the Bay. Looks like he says Jerry Rice is his number one. Yeah, that would be mine too. Like, favorite all-time 49er. And Devin also says, don't forget about Ronnie Lott. Yeah, I would say Ronnie Lott is probably the best defensive player in 49er history. That's what I think. But yeah, I think he's probably the best defensive player in 49er history. At least there's no doubt he's the best safety ever, but he could go down as the best defensive player in 49er history. Let's see. Travis Berg says NFC East is terrible. I'm from New York and it's brutal. Yeah, I agree. Yep, I remember CG. I remember Garrison Hurst. Yeah, Garrison Hurst was exciting to watch. Before there was ever Frank Gore, you had a Garrison Hurst. Yep. Garrison Hurst was excellent. And then before that, you had Ricky Waters. But yeah, the first running back I remember seeing, because basically the 94 Super Bowl team, I didn't really see. The first running back I ever watched from the Niners was Garrison Hurst, so that's definitely the running back I remember. My earliest memory is Garrison Hurst. Yeah, he was pretty good. He was excellent. 49ers First Take says his favorite game was Jay Rice breaking the touchdown record in 94 on Monday Night Football, and his favorite player was Joe Montana. All right. I appreciate your thoughts, 49ers First Take. 49er Faithful says his favorite 49ers are Ronnie Lott, Jay Rice, and Prime Time. Yeah, I like your picture with Prime Time. Man, too bad Prime Time couldn't stay with the Niners, for more years. Yeah, I don't know what happened. He went to Dallas after that, and then he went to Washington. But then, yeah, it didn't work out in Washington. But yeah, prime time, no doubt, one of the best corners to ever do it. He wore that number 21 proud. I wish he could have played more years with the red and gold. And he also says Deion's his all-time favorite cornerback, and even though he played only 1 year with us, yeah, Prime brought a lot to the position, and yeah, I wish he could have played with us longer. Texans fan, I appreciate you coming through, man. You're always welcome. I appreciate you coming through, checking out the stream, man. It's like Niners All Day says, are we bringing back the 94 red throwback jerseys? That's what I've been hearing, Niners All Day, that there's going to be a State of the Union for the 49ers, and I believe that's June 30th. They're going to be, talking about the state of the franchise, and they might be bringing back those jerseys. So those red throwback 94 jerseys are pretty nice, man. Are pretty nice. Let's see. Matt says the first I look at the hearse. Okay, yeah, that was my first running back I saw for the Niners too. Looks like Travis says it's the 7th time the Raiders have been on Thanksgiving. So yeah, so that must have been before I started watching football, because I don't remember them being on Thanksgiving before. Of course, the Cowboys are always on, but the Detroit Lions are always on. But yeah, I don't remember the Raiders being on there. Watkins Sports, what's good? How you doing today on a Thursday? I appreciate you coming through to the stream, man. It's like CG says maybe that was in the 80s or 70s or something. So looks like Tommy says CFL receiver is 6 freaking 5. Are you talking about which receiver are you talking about? Let me know. 49ers first take says all my memories and players are all old timers because I'm old. I dig it, man. Yeah, it looks like for people watching on Jay and the Bay on YouTube, let me know if you can still watch because I just got a message from StreamYard. Oh, okay. Looks like the error cleared up. Looks like there might have been an issue on Jay and the Bay YouTube, but it looks like it says I'm still live, so I'll keep going. But yeah, I appreciate all the comments. Keep them coming. I did want to talk about D'Amico Ryan's presser. I don't know if anyone watched it. Let me know, but I think it's great that D'Amico Ryans is in his first year as defensive coordinator, but he's got a lot of talent to work with. That's definitely something that works in D'Amico Ryan's favor. He's got a veteran secondary. He's got Ward. He's got Tart, and Mosley, and he's got K'Wan Williams and Verrette. So he's got 5 guys in the secondary who are veterans who know the system and also can help the younger players in the secondary. Also, he's got the best middle linebacker in the NFL, Fred Warner. Also got excellent defensive linemen. So I think D'Amico Ryans has definitely set himself up for success by being the 49ers defensive coordinator because of the talent that's on the field. And a few things that stood out in D'Amico Ryan's presser, he said he wants the 49ers defense to be fast, attacking, aggressive defense. And that's definitely something I like to hear. And hopefully the players can execute that. And D'Amico also said that he wants his guys to know the fundamentals of the defense they're running and also to be smart. That's definitely something else that stood out in D'Amico Ryan's presser. And D'Amico was also asked about Coach Saleh, the former defensive coordinator, now current head coach of the Jets. He was asked about Robert Saleh and the impact of Robert Saleh on D'Amico Ryan's career. And he had nothing but good things to say about Saleh. Saleh has helped him tremendously in becoming a defensive coach. And, Saleh couldn't have helped any more than he had. Looks like Niners All Day says D'Amico is going to fit right in. No, I agree, man. I had mentioned earlier in the stream, I talked about a brief history of D'Amico Ryans. He was a hell of a player in college. He was rookie defensive year in 2006 with the Texans as a linebacker. He's played at the highest level, so I think the guys from the team already respect him in that way. But also, he's very knowledgeable. He commands the respect, of the players, and I think he definitely gets it. So, you know, D'Amico definitely knows the system. He can teach the system. Now, what will take time for him to learn is maybe I'm assuming Saleh taught him how to game plan for an opposing offense. But what D'Amico will have to learn, and it'll just take time, is probably in game situations like changing the scheme or changing how you want to attack the opposing offense in game. That's something I'm intrigued to see how D'Amico Ryans develops as a defensive coordinator. How does he change his approach in game, and also defensive play calling? When should I blitz? When should I play zone? Things like that. So, I think that takes time. Because he's a new defensive coordinator. That'll take time, but I think he's going to do real well as well. Niners All Day. I think he'll definitely do well. It's like 49er Faithful says, imagine T.O., Prime Time, and Steve Young on the same team. I know, man. That would have been nice, but unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition. D'Amico also said that he talked about a few players, D'Amico Ryans did, in the press conference. He talked about Javon Kinlaw, saying Javon Kinlaw should have a much better season because Javon Kinlaw has participated in OTAs. He's been in the NFL under an NFL strength and conditioning program. He wasn't really able to do that, Kinlaw, last year because of COVID. And that definitely can hinder a player if they're not able to practice their craft, So he spoke highly of Kinlaw. Also, other players on the verge of breaking out, and this is from D'Amico Ryans, our defensive coordinator, is Kevin Gibbons and also Dre Greenlaw. So those are just a few notes from D'Amico Ryans' presser that I found interesting. And we've had two more players to discuss, Jason Verrette and Jimmy Ward. But let's continue with the comments. Brandon DeKing, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. How you doing on a Thursday, man? Yeah, CG says all gas, no break anymore, just fast, aggressive, and attack. Exactly. I like it. Niners All Day says, do you think Lance will start all the preseason games? No. There's only 3 preseason games. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like in years past, there would be 5 preseason games, and usually the starters would play like the third game of the preseason. Usually the starters would play like at least the first half, or they would at least play the most amount of snaps in the preseason. So I don't know which game of the first 3 that will be, but there's going to be a game where the starters will play more than 2 series. But yeah, I'm not sure. I would imagine Jimmy G would start every preseason, and then maybe he'll play 1 or 2 series, and then that'll slowly ramp up, and then Trey Lance will get in. But it would be nice, Niners All Day, to see Trey Lance go up against another defensive starters. That would be nice to see how he plays. It's like CG says, Niners All Day, he should play in regards to Trey Lance, but maybe not risk Jimmy in the preseason. I mean, we got to remember that, Jimmy hasn't played since, what was his last game? Was it in October? So Jimmy hasn't played, for more than, like 6 to 8 months. Last time he actually played meaningful football. So I think it's important that Jimmy plays. He's not going to play the entire game, no, but I think he should at least get in a few series for sure. OYG, I appreciate you coming through to the stream, man. He says, next time, my brother, got to get back. Heads up, Niners Empire. Till next time, y'all be safe out there. Jay in the Bay, keep up the great work. I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate you coming through, man. Catch me next time. So the next player I'll talk about will be Jason Verrette. You know, Jason Verrette has an interesting history. Obviously, he was a first-round pick of the San Diego Superchargers. And unfortunately, he battled several injury. He had several injury-riddled seasons with the San Diego Chargers. And, the 49ers took a chance on him 3 years ago. And, he battled injuries with the Niners as well. But last year was obviously Jason Verrette's probably best year of his career. I know with the Chargers, he had one Pro Bowl season. But I feel like with the Niners, you could say either this was his his best season or his second best season, but this is one of two seasons where he played a majority of the games, Jason Verrette. And it's good to see that, Jason Verrette is healthy. He ended the year last year healthy, and he's beginning the year this year healthy. So, that's a good thing to see. And as I mentioned before, this is his third year with the team. And he mentioned, Jason Verrette, that, the defense starts with the D-line. The D-line helps the entire defense. If the D-line is getting pressure on the quarterback, it helps out the cornerbacks a lot. So that's one thing that stood out. JV said that he had a great year last year. He was healthy and productive, and he wants to continue that. And, if Jason Verrette balls out again, he could be looking at a long-term contract extension. I don't know about if it'll be with the Niners, but, he'll definitely be looking at possibly a long-term contract extension if he can stay healthy. And JV was asked about our corners, our young corners, Lenore and Ambry Thomas. And he had mentioned that Lenore was pretty good in press coverage. He was an aggressive corner. And he mentioned that Ambry Thomas was versatile and fast. So that's good to hear, a veteran praising the rookies. So that's definitely good to hear. And that was basically what I got from the Jason Verrette presser. That's what stood out to me. Let's see. Tommy says, I have the Samsung is 20. What do you mean? What do you mean, Tommy? Expound on that. What you mean, Tommy? The last person I wanted to talk about in the presser was good old Jimmy Ward. But let's get to this comment. Let's see. David says, the wide receivers Verrette was up against at the end of the year was crazy, and he pretty much locked all of them up except Diggs. Yeah. Yeah, Diggs was playing last year on another level. Yeah, Diggs and that Bills offense were, they were just eating us up last year. I think that was a Monday night game too. But yeah, other than that, Verrette was playing pretty much at a Pro Bowl. You could argue all pro level. And hopefully we can have a repeat of that performance this year. Jimmy Ward in his presser, he was asked about DeMeco Ryans. What are the differences between DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh? And Jimmy mentioned that, DeMeco is a player coach because he's played in the NFL before. And he also mentioned that the defensive calls will be simpler for the Niners this year. So the players would, they can play faster, play more aggressive. And, he says they'll be able to play even faster than they did last year. So, that's good. That's good to hear. Jimmy also mentioned that, hey, Jimmy Ward is a team player, and he's hoping that DeMeco Ryan will use Ward in different ways. Like Jimmy Ward mentioned that he wished he could be used as a robber. And I believe he's referring to safeties who play at the line of scrimmage and, can blitz the passer, can support the run game. So it'll be interesting to see how D'Amico Ryans will use Jimmy Ward, because I think Jimmy Ward, he's pretty good in coverage, zone coverage. I haven't really seen him rush the quarterback that much, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. But we'll see what D'Amico Ryans does. And Ward was also asked about the rookies in the secondary. Hufanga, Lenore, and Ambry Thomas. And he mentioned that the rookies have quick feet, they're hungry, they have great attitudes, they're ready to learn, and also they're pretty good in press coverage. So I can't wait to see this press coverage, and I can't wait to see the rookies in the preseason games. But that was definitely, looks like Tommy says, I was just being done mixing eBucam and my phone. Okay, no worries. But yeah, I can't wait to see our rookies in the preseason, and I can't wait to see them perform, because, let's be real. A lot of the corners, the veteran corners, they're all on 1-year deals. Besides Mosley, he's on a 2-year deal, but Verrette's on a 1-year deal. K'Wan Williams is on a 1-year deal. So, those corners, hopefully they can develop this year, because they could possibly be starting next year, or at least playing a more significant role. So, I can't wait to see how they play in the preseason. But I appreciate everyone for coming through. I just wanted to talk about, the 49ers' latest news. The 49ers and Chargers are having joined workouts prior to their preseason game this year. Kevin Givens, I believe all charges have been dropped in his case. You can Google it as well for clarification. And I appreciate everyone liking, subscribing, especially everyone watching on that good old Spotlight Sports Network. And appreciate everyone watching from Jay in the Bay. Let me know if you have any other questions, concerns, comments. Most likely, let's see, today's Thursday, so most likely I will be streaming again on Sunday night. And yeah, let's see. Niners All Day says, great show, Jay. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. Let's see. David says, Ward is a great tackler. Wish he hacked a bit more. Okay. Yeah, I think he could. There's always room to improve. And, I'm eager to see how D'Amico Ryans, I'm eager to see how the players perform under D'Amico Ryans, because I think they'll use a similar scheme that Saleh had, but I'm sure D'Amico Ryans will put his own stamp, on the defense. So, I think David said Hawk. Oh, yeah. Jimmy doesn't really get interceptions. I know he had one game this past year. I think was it against the Rams? I think he had like 2 or 3 interceptions. I think that was against the Rams this year. But yeah, Jimmy doesn't really get, interceptions. He's not a ball hawk safety. But he's still a pretty good safety. I like Jimmy Ward. I like the combination of Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tart. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on. You guys can always stay tuned to Jay in the Bay for your latest 49ers news. And I appreciate everyone coming through. And let me know if there's any other questions, comments. I appreciate everyone subscribing to Jay in the Bay, leaving a like, a thumbs up for the stream. Yep, Tommy Huxley on a Sunday. Yeah, so I'll probably see you guys next time on a Sunday. And I guess I will be signing off. Appreciate everyone coming through. Thanks for supporting Jay in the Bay. And so tomorrow, for those that may have not heard this, so I'll be doing a live stream on 49ers First Take YouTube channel. So for those that don't know about 49ers First Take, check him out on YouTube. Talks about that red and gold, faithful. So I'll be doing a live stream on his channel tomorrow, 49ers First Take, at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you guys want to hear more about some Niners talk, come check out 49ers First Take tomorrow. And I think that will be it for me. I will be signing off. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. See you guys on the next one.